Hello, I'm President Calvin Coolidge. Welcome to Plymouth. It is a great pleasure to have you here today.
The Bush Center is sponsoring a number of preliminary debates across the country. And the point of these debates overall is for young people who debate to be able to think about economics.
Hernando de Soto recounts how in the age of American protectionism, there are winners and there are losers. Where America prospers, Venezuela, Cuba, and Mexico go through economic suffering, starvation, rioting, and looting.
The economy is a major issue for the American people at this point, especially I think for younger people going forward. It's important for them to understand the economy and understand approaches to the economy and how to create economic growth, how to sustain it.
The purpose of our program is to expose the benefits of stronger economic growth to the American people, especially to younger people who may not have heard so much about this concept, economic growth. So we've gone to a youth group, high school debaters, and have focused on them, offering them material on the benefits of growth, on the benefits of trade, on the benefits of a stable regulatory regime, so that they can debate in their sport, debate better, and make their own decisions about what policy should be.
The Debate Institutes at Dartmouth this is our 30th year of a summer program, and we're one of the most competitive high school debate programs during the summer. So students from across the country, and this year it's 100 of the best high school debaters were accepted for a 4-week intensive program. Today they're debating about whether, on the whole, for a local community like Plymouth Notch, if protectionism is a good idea. So they're drawing in a bunch of the history they've learned about Mexico, Cuba, and Venezuela, as well as free trade and protectionism arguments that they've learned all throughout high school. And then most importantly, the 2 hours they got this morning with experts on the topic to kind of give them some examples to work from. And then during lunch, they spent the 2 hours preparing using some primary sources the Bush Center had put together, as well as searching on the internet for other examples.
I hope it continues the ability to bring young people together, to work together, to study together, to focus on the positives of learning, and to be able to hone their skills so that they can be successful in the future.
Coolidge goes to collect the sap from the trees to condense into maple syrup. However, after several hours, he wipes the sweat from his brow and proceeds to tend to his sheep. As he tends to his sheep, he is filled with desperation because he knows that just across the ocean, his hard work means nothing. Growing globalization and the ease of transportation nulls his hard work because he knows he will never be able to compete.
From the point of view of a tiny village, protectionism sounds like a good idea.
Well, maybe the government should have tariffs to protect our fragile little businesses. And the kids were able to see how fragile the economy was, and then debate both sides of the protectionism argument.
Protectionism may seem arcane to the people of today, but as we saw from today's debates, the conversation was drifting from national protection, foreign goods, into localism. What do we do about Walmart? What do we do about grown local? What tax breaks do we give to farmers markets, etc., etc.? So the new walls of protectionism are going around our cities and our localities.
You can learn a lot from their dedication and their experiences and what these presidents, in order to become the leaders of a nation, what they've had to accomplish and how engaged they have to be on local, regional, state, national levels.
We can learn about their policies specifically and how they affect not only people in America, but urban areas and rural areas like this, but along with that, also how it affects the world. For example, like the debate we had today about protectionism and free trade, we talked about small communities in America like this, but along with that, also small communities in the rest of the world, whether it be in Cuba or Mexico.
Imagine those kids in 1962 during the Cuban Missile Crisis where they're scared, hiding under their desks. That was all created off of the privileging of American industry.
There's a lot of good things and bad things that come with each president, and it's good to explore both, to learn from them and to see what things have worked in the past and how we can shape the future.
The debate's important for everybody, and the sooner you start it, the better chance you have of being a good communicator later on in your life.
I think there's a multitude of skills that I've learned from being a debater. First and foremost for me is learning about the real world. I think that In school, we're forced to learn things that are important, but we never learn how they're applicable. And I think that debate forces us to have decision-making skills and those portable education skills that are essential that you don't learn from anything else, because you're forced to learn, how does this interact with the real world? This may be your take on the economy, but how do you apply that?
Smaller economies account for upwards of 60% of the GDP of the United States. If you're allowed to outsource those, then countries like China would soak up that revenue and make it impossible for us to compete with them.
When you grow up, perhaps you're a businessman, you're a politician, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor. Economic debate really helps you understand complex issues which will be relevant to you, to your country, to your community.
I'm Kenny Jong, and I'm from Dallas, Texas.
And why are you here?
My parents made me come. No, I'm just kidding. I actually really like debate, and I heard only good things about Dartmouth Debate Institute, and I just wanted to get better at debate and improve my argumentation.
I think that the options that it provides are better than what it lets you do in the future, but that it gives you the options of what can I do in the future.
Just to be aware of their nation and the issues that it faces and how they can make a difference. It's a wonderful program.
After a tough deliberation to determine the champions of the first annual Calvin Coolidge Economic Debates, it was a 5-2 vote in favor of the negative. Congratulations.